Well, you're right. I was in Trump's camp. I'm a loyal Republican. I supported him in the race in 2016 and 2020. But it was whenever, after January 6th, which was a terrible day for our democracy, an attack on our Capitol, but then whenever he made it clear he was not going to participate in the peaceful transfer of power to the next administration, that breaches the best traditions of our presidency, the best traditions of our democracy. And I said enough's enough on that. And I do admire Vice President Pence. He was there in that transition of power. I was there also, just as a demonstration as a Republican that we're going to continue those traditions and recognize the new leadership in our country.
If you are not the Republican nominee, will you vote for Donald Trump as president?
Well, I don't expect him to be the nominee, so I'm
He's ahead 30 points in the latest
the
polls.
Nominee of the party.
It's certainly a possibility.
Well, I understand that, and I'm sure that will come up on the debate stage. But, of course, if you believe that he's not qualified under our Constitution, the 14th Amendment, then he's not going to even be in the picture.
Well, I agree with you, but did you sign the pledge as a condition of being at the debate that you'll support the eventual nominee? I'm just trying to find the consistency with your stated positions. I admire some of them, but some of them don't add up.
Well, you got to think a little bit lawyerly here that I signed it saying I'm going to support the nominee of the party. I do not believe that Donald Trump will be the nominee of the party, so I can feel comfortable in signing that pledge. Now, you're asking me questions as what's going to happen down the road. I'm sticking with that statement. That gets me on the debate stage, and it's important for me to be there and my voice. And we'll see what the future holds after that.
David Jolly, I think we can both agree it's important for anti-Trump voices to be on that stage. Trump won't be, but it is also fair to ask questions about what the person who's 30 points ahead would garner in terms of support from the other Republicans in the field.
Yeah, Nicole, I'm of the mindset there's no reason for Donald Trump politically to appear on the stage, and I think the governor and others can wrestle with questions whether or not there is value in addressing Donald Trump that night or addressing the other candidates on the stage. I'm just, honestly, in real time, a bit taken aback. Governor, I don't understand what you just said, that you don't think he's qualified to be president and you don't support him, but you would support him. I apologize. I'm a bit of a pause. I don't understand what you just said.
Actually, David is a lawyer. I'm not. Do you want to take another stab at that, Governor? Helping us understand.
I said on the pledge that I will support the nominee of the party. That's what I said. I can in good conscience sign that because I believe that I'll be the nominee of the party or somebody else on the stage Wednesday night. Donald Trump hasn't signed that. Donald Trump is not going to participate in that. And so I expect the nominee of the party to be on that stage Wednesday night. You can accept that or reject it, but that's a basis in which I, in good conscience, can sign that pledge.
Governor,
but
go ahead, David.
Yeah, if I may, if Donald Trump's name appears as a Republican nominee, whether you think he's qualified or not, are you going to vote for Donald Trump next November if he's the nominee of the Republican Party?
Well, I don't expect him to be the nominee of the party. I'm not voting for Joseph
Governor,
Biden.
Look, I support your spirit, but are you going to vote for Donald Trump as the Republican nominee if indeed he's on the ballot in Arkansas where you're registered to vote?
And I hear you very clearly exactly what you're asking me, and I just gave you the answer that I am providing and signing that pledge based upon. You don't have to accept it. I just gave you the answer.
Governor, I think one of the reasons that the Republican Party is so out of step with the American people on abortion, where red states like Kansas and Ohio have rejected moves designed, and I know you have very absolute views on that issue, is because they're so out of step. And I think the other piece of it is they refuse to deal with the facts as they really are. And the facts as they really are, and believe me, from the bottom of my heart, I wish it wasn't the case, but Donald Trump is ahead 30 points over the second most popular Republican, and that isn't you, sir, unfortunately. But I wonder how we are to cover seeming contradictions in views. You make a very strong constitutional argument, not just that he's the wrong president on policy, but that it is unconstitutional because of the 14th Amendment. But you won't say here to us, two former Republicans, that you won't vote for him?
Well, it's necessary to be on the debate. Obviously, Chris Christie and others have signed that pledge. They have their own rationale for being able to do that. I've said I'm not going to support anybody who's a convicted felon. I'm not going to support somebody who's disqualified from it. And so I'm trying to make it clear what my position is. It's not hard to figure it out. If you see a contradiction in there, perhaps that will be clarified in future discussions on the debate or down the road. But I think I've been very clear that I don't believe Donald Trump should be the leader of the party, should be the next president of the United States. That's why I'm running. That's why I'm in this debate. And I'm making my case very clearly. So I'm speaking my beliefs to the American public, whether it's the issue of abortion or whether it's the issue of Donald Trump. The voters get to make their decision as to who's being authentic, who can lead this country, and who can bring us beyond Donald Trump and the chaos that he's presented for the party in the last few years.
And to be fair, you are not the only Republican with this position. As you said, everyone on the stage has also signed the pledge. And I won't say some of them, at least one other is making strong arguments similar to the ones you are against Donald Trump's fitness, and that's Governor Chris Christie. Governor Hutchinson, thank you very much for spending some time and fielding our blunt and impassioned questions. We are grateful to you for having that exchange, and we wish you good luck in the debate this week.